Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. So yeah, today we're going to be just continuing on with that screen that we're making. It's almost done, the enchantment screen. So just maybe add a couple more animations, get it animating in and out when you actually visit it in the game. And then that's going to be the goal for this stream. And if that goes well, might do something more fun. Maybe design a new card or something like that. I don't know. I'm having fun doing art, so I may find an excuse to do more art. But in any case, before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Gunforged is available for purchase. So if you want to support my work, it's a great way to do it. And I also think it's a very fun game. So check it out. It's $8.99 USD on Steam right now, but you can also wishlist it and get it on sale. And I also have my Udemy courses. This one is the Survivor style course that's in GD script, but I also have a C# course. So if you're interested in learning how to build a complete game in the Godot engine, then check out those courses. Again, these are great ways to support me as well. Okay. So the obligatory ads are out of the way. Let's see what we got going on here. So we're almost done with this screen. Very close to done here. So we just need to make this animate in, and then we got to figure out a way to animate these tentacles a little bit. Maybe I'll do some particles and like stretching. We will see. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out. But also need a better indicator that shows like that these can be clicked. So still open for ideas, or open to ideas on that. So yeah, but we'll do one thing at a time here. Hello, Kinyaz, welcome back. Good to see you. Hello, at 8th Ant. Welcome. Good to see you. Kelso, welcome back. First stream I caught. What's this game? Yeah, so this game is a collectible card game, grid inventory management auto battler, where you take your cards that you get and you put them on your grid, and then you battle enemies in an auto battler fashion. So it's kind of like Backpack Heroes or The Bazaar. But the thing that makes this game different is that there's an alchemy system where you can mix different cards together to create new cards with the abilities of all of the other cards. So you'll be able to create cards that have abilities that aren't available to them by default. And so, yeah, that's basically the game. It's got a medieval science, alchemy, and necromancer theme. The ant. Oh, I gotcha. When making the shop, you insisted that each selection should indicate what it does without hovering. I didn't say that each selection should indicate what it does. I said that the price should be visible without hovering. But that is a good point. So maybe I need to come up with an enchantment name that I can show. I don't think I'm going to be able to show the description at all times because that's going to be a little bit too much. So yeah, still got to figure out how to do this part. Sounds really cool, thank you. But I'm going to animate this in first, because this just appears right now. And I also need a unified way of being able to back out of encounters. That's something that I still have to do. Maybe the tentacle should hold a sign. That actually would be kind of funny. But we're not doing humor for this game. This game is no humor allowed in this game. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that first. So let's go to the enchant container. Do I just want this to slide in again? How do I want to do this? I'm going to go to my shop. Do do I have a play in animation? I do. So what's going on in here? We're fading in certain things. I think it would be better, yeah, I think it would be good instead of, so I'll slide the board in, I think, to where this position is, and then fade in the head. Am I doing anything with the visuals node? I am not, or am I? Nope. So I think what I'll do is I'll mark this as unique, change this type to the canvas group. Oh, that's not gonna work. I'm using clip children mask here, which is not going to work. Strictly no fun, yes. Absolutely. Is your game running good and progressing? Yes. I mean, not as fast as I'd like because I'm working on a new Udemy course. So it's taking up the bulk of my time, but I gotta figure out how to do this fade-in stuff. Why does this keep automatically opening this shader panel? That's so annoying. Close, 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 close all. Okay. Let's lock all those. We'll lock these as well. How am I going to do this? I need this to be a canvas group so that I can do the fade out canvas group material. But it makes the eyes white because of the mask there. Wow. I don't know. This is one of the limitations of Godot that's kind of annoying. It's, oh, is that supposed to be like Herobrine? Never knew how to pronounce that. Yeah, with the glowing eyes. Oh, goodness. So I need to do something about this. I don't know. I obviously have to get the eyes out of here, this eye mask. Are any of these using a shader? So what I might need to do is group all of these things as a canvas group and then make all of these use an individual shader. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's do a canvas group. Canvas group here is at position 0, 0. Drag all those things underneath that. Then I can apply that fade material to that. Okay. Now these can just use the fade out material here. Those eyes are kind of creepy. And then what I'll do is I'll set these to use the parent material. Shoot, that's not going to work either. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's turn off use parent material. And then let's do this. Material, turn that off as well. Okay, so I'm going to need to do something a little bit wonky here. I think what I need to do is I'll need to dynamically change this clip. Probably need to change this clip children here. Hello, Kazori, welcome. Hello, Neozoid. Yes, early today. Yes, indeed. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Did you do a shader vertex animation for the octopus hands? It's not a vertex animation. It's just basically offsetting the UV according to a sine wave. And yeah, that's basically all that's happening. So I'm going to need to coordinate this clip children here. So this clip children is going to need to change on the eye mask. So here's what's going to happen. This is the order. Excuse me. This is the order here. Going to have to hide or fade this in using this material. So start it at 1, fade that in. Do the same for the eyes. So I need this material to be in there. And of course that's breaking, so we'll make that unique. That's very annoying. Okay. We'll just put this in there, make unique. So there's that. There's that. So I'll need to fade those both in at the same time. And then after that fade in is done, I have to change this. Or I guess I can change... Oh, I can keep that as clip. Oh, I don't even need to do that. Okay. So I can keep that as clip with no shader, no material on it. The head and the eyes are going to need to be animated, and then I can take this canvas group here. I'll name this head canvas group. All right, let me get that in place before I forget. Public void play in. Hey Billy, I just have a question. Yeah, for sure. What is your question? Snup Bill, thank you so much for the IDR 10,000 with the message yummers that we all appreciate. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you as always. Hope you're having a good day. And thanks again. It's very generous. Hello, iCode Stuff. Welcome back. Good to see you again. So we've got the head, node, private canvas group, head canvas group. Do I already have eyes? Yes, I have eyes. Okay. I do indeed have eyes. So we're going to set parallel on this tween. Tween that tween property. Oh, wait. No, we don't want to do that. I don't like this. So I have this utility method for fading out nodes, but the problem is that if it detects that there's a fade out material on the canvas item, it will just play that fade out. But otherwise, it does a bunch of stuff to the tree and then queue freeze the thing. So that's not good. I probably can't name this the same, can I? Yeah. That's all right. gd.push error. Try to fade out a node with no compatible material. Yeah, I don't know. Card upgrade container. Fade out. Yeah, I'm just gonna remove this. Public static task, fade out and queue free. Node. Skip. Actually, I'm going to just throw an exception. Throw a new system dot invalid operation exception. That's nice. I'm actually going to do the same here. Health globe. There's no material on this, I don't think. Where's the material? It's up here. Material, okay. So yeah, so I want to do fade out and queue free here. So I'm just making this more explicit. You don't want your functions and methods to do two different things conditionally. That just generally creates problems. So in the spirit of doing one thing, this method now only fades out the material if it detects a valid material. And this method only does one thing, which is it fades out the material and Q-freeze. So it's like the definition of one thing is kind of a little bit malleable when you're trying to, you know, stick to that principle. But before, there was branching logic in here. This fade out would either alter the state of the scene tree or not in the previous iteration, whereas now I'm guaranteed that this one's not going to modify the scene tree at all, and this one is. So it's just a little bit more clear. I think this needs to be fade out and Q free as well. Okay, now the reason I did all that is because now I can do that in my enchantment container here. Now I'm going to create actually probably a companion method. Oh, I already have a fade in. Oh, very nice. Well, we'll just get rid of that. Where's this being used? Oh, very nice. Okay. All right. So we've got the head and we've got the head canvas group. So let's fade both of those in. Visual utilities. Fade in. Head canvas group. Head. Eyes. I don't know if I need to await these. I think I don't need to await those. The jam I was working on got extended a day. Nice. That's kind of nice always when you get that extra couple hours or whatever, or an extra day. Gives you a little bit of breathing room to polish things up, do a lot of testing, whatnot. What am I working on? I'm just animating this screen. So we've got this this screen animating here in terms of the entity being animated, the little Cthulhu guy. But now there needs to be an in animation for when you actually visit this node. Imagine having eyes, yeah. I'm developing a game and I want to do a shader that texture a layer, like texture everything in the scene except the background. I do some research and didn't find any help. You want a shader that textures a layer in the scene except the background. Is your background static or does it move? Is it like parallax or... That sounds very tricky. I can't really think of a good way to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think of a way you could do that, but I actually don't know. Maybe you could ask the AI, ask ChatGPT or something. See what it says. Oh, the mini jam. Very nice. Good morning, Emerson. Welcome back. Good to see you. Hello, Arthur. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Canvas group, head, eyes. So I'm animating all of those things in. Let's do the board now. This board, we want to tween that in. And again, I'm going to look at the shop. Am I animating the board? Oh, there's no board in the shop. Oh. What about the alchemy container? Am I animating that board? Let's see. Board. Am I not animating the board? Where's the in animation? Play in animation. Oh, is it? Oh, it's animating the board container. Why is it animating the board container? Let me look at my alchemy container and see how this is working. So it's using a pass-through control to animate the board container. That's probably a good idea, actually, because the board container changes the positioning of the board under here. I don't want to be fighting with that. So I'll use my pass-through control for that. Did I do this wrong? Oh, I don't even need that. Oh. Wait a minute. I don't need the pass-through control because this board is not a child of a container. I'll just do another control node here. I want to make the position zeroed out, so let's do ignore there. We're going to copy the position, change the custom minimum size. So now I should be able to animate that board container. Tween.tween property. We're going to tween the board container. String container.property name dot position vector 2.0. Set ease out, set transition back, and then visual utilities get window width, yeah. We'll just do like a +8 padding on that. This needs to be global position. Board.globalposition.y. Let's do this. Tween.tween callback. Set delay. Let's do 0.5. And inside of the callback, we're going to do all of these visual utilities calls. Okay, so what I should see is that the board will animate in from the left side after half a second. After half a second, it's going to fade in the rest of it. The tentacles are still going to be in place, but the tentacles are still going to be in place, so we'll animate those in a second. Oh, I forgot to play the in animation. All right, let's try it. Oh, that didn't work at all. I mean, it kind of worked. I just need this to be... I need that to be invisible by default. So I actually need to include the delay in here. So here's what I'll do. Float delay equals 0. Float time equals 0.5. Delay time. So instead of doing this all here, I just need to do it in here instead. 0.5. Let's do a 1 second fade in. Make it a little bit slower. We should name the octopus guy. Well, if you got a good name. That doesn't seem right to me, though. Is that a 0.5 second delay? That doesn't seem like it. Maybe it's just because this is too long. Let's do 0.75. Delay, time. Okay. I asked ChatGPT says use sub viewports because it separates layers, but it didn't help. I never used that node before. Yeah, sub viewports are like... They can be very tricky to work with. Very confusing. Hello, Carto. Welcome back. Good to see you. That is not a 0.5 second delay. Am I wrong in saying that? That doesn't seem like a point. Fade in. Not the usual time. No, not on weekends. On weekends, it's just basically whenever I feel like doing it. In this case, I was itching to get working on this. The streams are really the only time that I spend working on this game now. While I'm working on the other course. Why does this still seem weird? I don't understand... Maybe I'll do a 0 delay here and a 1 second in. I don't know why that's so slow. That's making me worried that there's something weird going on here. That looks okay, actually. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. That looks fine. Let's just see what it looks like in the map, just to get a good feel for this. Okay, perfect. So now we need to do something with the tentacles here. The tentacles should not appear until you have a card in the grid here. And then once you've got a card in the grid, I want the tentacles to pop out of the ground. And if you were to remove a card from the grid, they should go back in. So we're going to work on that next. Water belly. That's hilarious. Oh, the jam doesn't require a specific what you call it. Here, just for you guys, let's do this. Water belly. I'll name this node water belly. There you go. There's a little Easter egg inside of the source code for you. Anyway, let me commit what I have. Just make sure I didn't do anything ridiculous, you know. I would always recommend doing this, like, even if you're just a solo developer and you're just trying to grind away on a game, just take a moment and just, like, look through your Git diffs before you commit. Because, like, a lot of times you'll see a line of code or a block of code that you left in place that doesn't need to be there anymore. It's just a nice little opportunity to prune some things. Doesn't need to be a super in-depth review, but just take a second look at it before you commit everything. So work on enchant in animations. Happy Sunday, Wet Penguin. Thank you. Greetings from Lithuania. Very nice. So it's Sunday evening for you then, right? What are we working on today? Animating that screen in. You implemented the map already. Looks neat. Yeah, thank you. The map right now is in a test phase because all of the nodes right now are the enchantment encounter. So there's should be icons here for other event types, but that's not happening right now. But thank you. Water belly, yes. One of us. Hello, MyKundev, welcome. Easter egg for reverse engineers, yes. If anyone is interested to reverse engineer the game. All right, so now we got to figure out how to do these tentacle animations. This would probably be best done at the level of this node here. If I change this position, is that going to... Yeah, of course it does. Let's copy this position. Okay. Maybe change the scale, but the problem is I'm going to need to change the Y offset here so that when I do the scale, I don't know how that's going to look with the other textures, though. That's the thing. Is it roughly okay? It must be. It's roughly okay. So let's move this down now. Like that. modify this position here a little bit. I have no clue if this is going to look all right, but we'll try it. Damn it. I mean, dang it. This is why I don't like using inherited scenes or editing scenes directly. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. Alright, let's grab a reference to that tentacle. So we're going to need a public void play in. Public void play out. Oops. Tween. Private tween. I'll just call it tween, whatever. Tween.kill if valid. Tween.kill if valid. Tween property. Tentacle. String. Property name. Let's do sprite2d dot property name dot scale. We're going to go to vector 2.1 over, let's do 0.33 seconds. Final value, or no. Oh, wait, we got all that. Okay. Set ease type dot out. Back. I don't know if that's going to look good. I might need to use an animation player for this. But we'll see. So in my enchant container now, I have all of the tentacle containers. Okay, so let's do this. Board inventory component.card placed plus equals on card placed. Private void on card placed. Am I taking a reference to that? Card stats at position. Okay. We actually don't need either of those things, so I'm actually going to do... I'll just discard those. For each var tentacle in tentacles, we're going to do tentacle dot play in. All right, let's see what this looks like. On card placed. Why does that not work? Oh, I guess that only works for if you're doing the traditional connect way. All right, that's fine. We'll just fill in the argument types as they want it, or as it wants it. Okay, let's see what that does. Scale and a little rotation maybe. Yeah, maybe a little bit rotation. A reveal animation could look cool where it looks like it's coming out of the ground. Yeah, I think something like that would be awesome. What's that red box on the sprite? So that red box is just a reference rect. It's like an editor-only kind of node that draws a rectangle around the bounding area of the reference rect. And so what I'm doing is I just put that as a child of the control here so that I know how big the clickable area is. Because when I'm positioning these in the scene, I don't want any clickable areas to overlap. So clickable areas should not overlap with other clickable areas here with the tentacles, but also the clickable areas should not overlap with the board because that itself is a clickable area. So those are just helpful guides so I can keep all of the rectangles separate from each other without any overlap. But it doesn't have any like real function, it's just a control node. Kill if valid. Yeah, so kill if valid is an extension method that I wrote because tweens are weird. In order to check if a tween is running, you have to do a couple of things. So first, if a tween is valid, you can only kill a tween if it's valid. And valid means that it's either running or it hasn't started or something of that nature. Basically, a valid tween is a tween that has not finished, essentially. So you can only kill a tween that is valid, but then I have to do the null coalescing or the null chaining operator here because tween could be null. Because if we haven't yet played an animation, the tween may be a null value. So this is a line that's basically saying if the tween is not null and the tween is valid, kill it. But instead of writing out that block of code every time, I just wrote an extension method for it, which just streamlines it a little bit. Okay, that didn't work. Well, part of the problem is that this is already at, let's do from vector 2.0. From vector 2.1. I obviously have to hide the tentacles before. So let's do that. Tentacle.scale is equal to vector 2.0. And the clickable area, yeah, maybe I'll just... Yeah, I'm gonna have to manage the clickable state as well. There's a lot going on this screen. Goodness gracious. You're welcome, Emerson. So just kill off the tween if it was running already. Exactly, yeah. So if you want to prevent your, prevent creating multiple tweens that are all changing the same property, you basically just store a reference to a single tween and kill it if it's already running, and then just assign a new tween to that variable. Good morning, Damien. Welcome. Okay, that doesn't look terrible. If I make that maybe a little bit snappier. I have to make sure the mouse can't enter these areas as well. But I put that in. So imagine a little bit of delay, boom, 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 right? Maybe some particles splashing out, and then also maybe a little bit of camera shake. And then the same in kind of reverse. Float delay is equal to 0f. Let's do this. Tentacle.scale is equal to vector 2.0. We'll set it to vector 2.0 out here. The other thing is that this from only applies when the tween starts. So if you want to add a delay to your tween, you unfortunately need to set your initial values before the tween plays. So we'll do set delay 0, float delay. In this case, okay, so in here, oh, I can't do that. I'm going to say convert to trad for loop. Let's see if it understands that. Let's see if I can even do it shorter. Do normal for loop. Thank you. So there's our normal for loop. So the delay is going to be I times 0.1 and I times 0.1. See what that does. You're creating a new tween in the next line anyways. Would it be a problem if you didn't kill the old tween? Yeah, because the tween is bound to the node it runs in the scene tree. So you can kind of imagine it as like you're creating a tween that's just going to run in the background as if it's attached to the node. And if you just create a new tween, it just creates a new one on top of that. So you can have as many tweens bound to a node as you want. So you do need to maintain a reference to the old tween. Any tween that you want to be able to cancel midway through, you need to have a reference to it. Just creating a new tween, even if you tween the same properties and same values, both tweens are going to be running at the same time, and they're just going to be fighting each other over who gets to set the value. I think it's probably order based. So if you have an old tween that's halfway through its animation and you set up a new tween that tweens the same properties, the old tween is going to run, animate those properties, and then the new tween is going to run and just overwrite all those properties. So you may not see a difference if you're animating the same exact properties because of the order of adding the tween, but the tricky part comes in when you have like callbacks, like function calls that happen. You might have an old tween that's still running that does your callbacks even though you think you canceled it or you desired to cancel it, and that would be bad. Hello, Mycoon Dev. Oh, I already said hello to you, but thank you for the 149 euro. Thank you very much. It's very generous. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. And yeah, you're trying to brainwash me with the cheeseburger. I see. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. I will go to McDonald's. I like the new tentacle design. Haven't seen it with the suckers before. Thank you, Damien. The eyes follow the mouse. Yeah, I think it's cool, Kinyaz. I think it's cool. Oh yeah, we are going to McDonald's with this one. That's true. You could use a clip mask to make it appear from the ground, maybe. Yeah, I still don't know what I'm going to do about this void here. I wanted to make it look like water, but my experiments in that failed, so I need to figure that out. Can you start each tentacle's entrance at a slightly different time? Yes, we're about to test that right now. I feel the tentacles are too bouncy. Staggering similar animations to be an immediate improvement 9 out of 10 times. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it is very simple. So the tentacles might be too bouncy, but there are other things I want to add in to the tentacle in animation here. So we'll go a little bit further first, and then I'll start playing with the animations a little bit. Okay, so that worked. Why did the in not work? So it looks good when I'm going out, you know what I mean? But why did the in version not work? Oh, because I didn't pass the delay in. There we go. Very cool. Goodness gracious. There we go. So one thing that's bothering me that I still haven't fixed yet, which I'm going to fix now, after I commit this, is all of these are using the same shoot. All these are using the same shader parameters, so they all like wave the same way. I think I can make this look a little bit better. This material, we want to make this local to scene. Okay. Then for this one, shader parameters. That's a little bit too slow, I think. Ooh, that's too much. That looks pretty cool. And then this one. Ah, dang it. Well, it's fine, actually. Oh, I do want to do right. This one over here. Flip H. There we go. So now their animations are slightly different. Their shader animations. Let's see what that looks like in game. Maybe the middle tentacle could appear first. Oh, yeah. The octopus box coming in from the right side looks odd. To me, up or down sounds like it might fit in better. I mean, I know what you mean. That's how I'm animating in this box, this grid here for all of the other events. So if I changed it here, I would want to change it for every event. I think it's a good point. I think that animation can be improved. I don't like how quickly it like bounces in. So... But I also don't want to do a fade in. I mean, I could fade in the box instead of coming in from the right. I honestly don't think coming in from the top or bottom would look good either. Because what happens is like the player stuff comes in from the left when you go into the enchant. So it just seems like nice and symmetrical to have like this side, the left side come in and then the right side come in the same way. So that's kind of like my thinking behind using that in animation from the right. But I agree, I don't think it's that great of an animation. But I don't think top or bottom would fit either. Yeah, it is a far away from the edge. That's a good point. That looks juicier. We all love our juice, don't we, folks? What's the resolution? 640 by 360. Sorry to ask, but I'm having to export on WebGL, and I know how to export to HTML. But do I have to create a server or something? If I do, how do you do it? If you want to test it, you mean? We are juicers. Yeah, are you asking like testing or hosting it? How do you click the top left click slide? Export on itch. So let me answer iCode stuffs first. So on itch.io, if it's not working, you have to enable shared array buffer support or something. Have you done that? Let me actually pull up one of my itch.io games and see if I can figure this out. Hopefully I'm not showing anything incriminating in here. So this is your project page in itch.io, right? Under frame options, which is right above details here, you need to enable shared array buffer support for Godot games. And if you enable that, then your Godot game should work on itch as an embed. And you also need to make sure that, you know, you said you know how to export, but I think the HTML file needs to be at the root of the zip file that you upload. I think itch automatically detects that because it will allow you to check this option. This file will be played in browser. So I think that's what you need to do, iCode stuff, but I've never had to run a server locally for running the export builds or anything, or a server just period. So how do you create the top click, left click slide? So that's relatively simple. So I've got a drawer here, drawer UI. And again, this is all about animating control nodes, which I went over in the stream yesterday. I have this pass-through control that I use. But basically, it's just a matter of animating this control node here. So when this button gets clicked, this control node just slides. So this control node is always here. It's just slid over by an appropriate amount, by the appropriate offset, so that the button looks like it's right on the edge of the window. Then when I click the button, this just slides into position 0, 0, so it looks like this. That's basically it. It's really simple, just moving the rectangle off screen so you can't see it. I did notice that you've been keeping consistent with left-right sides. Yeah. I think a brute force solution is to have the octopus also coming from the right, so it feels a single coherent entity. Yeah, I'm doing that with like alchemy and stuff too. I think it's going to look weird for that head to just slide in. That's the problem. So it's like, I think my animations are just kind of weird here. I think they're just kind of weird. But I'm going to get the all of this looking good from the standpoint of like the tentacles, and then we can maybe play around with doing a better board animation or figuring out how to get things onto the screen in a more coherent way. They seem like independent entities anyway, so what you have now could be fine. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I think what you were probably seeing is if you wanted to run it, like test your HTML build locally, you'd have to probably create like there are like one-line Node.js packages you can run that like create a local file server that you can run, and then that would probably work if you wanted to test your HTML build like purely locally. But I've never done that. I just export for HTML from Godot and then check that box on itch, and it works every time. It's an interesting problem. Yeah, it is. Yeah. But I do agree, like the animations look a little bit weird, so we'll definitely do some work on them. But first, what am I doing? Okay, boom, tentacles, boom, out. So I want to see what it looks like if I add some like splash particles or something to that. Oh, also, yeah, I wanted to see how this looked, so I changed the shader parameters for the animation here. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how this screen is turning out. I didn't know if the head tentacles were going to look great with a shader animation applied to them, but I think it's actually fine. Have you ever used GDScript only to create a complete game? You mean like a game that I put on Steam? Most of my games actually on itch.io. Is that true? Most of them? I would say over half of them that I have on my itch page are GDScript games. But in terms of games that I have on Steam, no, those are all C#. I think it's fine as long as the octo appears after the board finishes moving. Yeah, I think that's... Well, maybe. We'll see. I'm hoping that once I add some more flair to this screen that beginning animation will be okay, but I don't think so. I think it's going to need to change. Looks so juicy, thank you. Can you see how it looks with the middle tentacle animating first? Sure. How am I going to do that? I think the easy way to do that is just to put the middle the middle tentacle first in this array. That should be fine. Have you considered ease out back for the stuff coming in from the left? I think that would look neat. Yeah, it is using ease out back. For the board anyway. if that's what you're referring to. I do like the middle one coming in first. That is cool. Oh, you meant the left side. Oh, yeah. So the problem is I can't do that with this drawer because then it's going to exceed its like sort of visual boundaries. And the same is true of the health globe. I guess what I could do is I could change this texture so that it has a large purple section on the left side, so if it overextends its boundaries, it doesn't like look weird. But do you know what I mean? It's like this is the extent of the visuals available on this panel here, so it might look weird if it's now maybe the player board should have the ease out back. I think the problem with that though is that when you expand this drawer here, that just looks a little bit weird if this is bouncing and nothing else is. Anyway. +1 for middle, awesome. Good suggestion. I like that better. A the ant, yes. Is it a nose? What is a nose? Hello, Bellato, by the way. Hello, Pseudonym. It's following GD Quest 2D Vampire Survivors tutorial. I think I did everything you said, but the slimes aren't chasing the player, but I put move and slide in the script. Any ideas? I'm not familiar with the code that gets the player. Like, how is the player position being retrieved? Is it using a group to target the player? Because a very common mistake is like you add the player to a group or you create a player group to get the location of the player in all of the enemy scripts, but then you forget to actually add the player to that player group. Yeah, I agree, Carto, yeah. Looks weird with the right board bouncing, but nothing else bounces. Like that pop-up. Player position is gotten by global position. Yeah, I'm not sure then, Pseudonym. I'm not familiar with the code, so I would have to be more familiar with that to help you out. Okay, so what am I doing? So I need to make these tentacles play out. So let me do this. Mouse filter is equal to mouse filter dot ignore. We'll call on mouse exited as well. Oh wait. Mouse filter equals mouse filter enum dot stop. This one needs to be ignore. And on mouse exited. Let's do this. Private void disable input. Private void enable input. Disable input. Enable input. And then we'll call disable input here. Okay. So now I shouldn't be able to click on the tentacles when I don't have a card in place. So hovering does nothing. I do this now. Now I can select these. Go away. Can't select those. Go back. Okay. So now when I click one of these, we need to play those out. So let me create a public. What do I want to call this? I don't know. I'm just going to say permanently disable, I guess. I don't know. Permanently disable. We're going to call it disable input. Private bool is permanently disabled. I don't think... Do I need this? Maybe I don't need that. Maybe I'll just do public void here. And in my enchant container, on tentacle clicked, has applied enchant, we'll play all these out and also call tentacles I dot disable input. Hello? Oh, hello? Am I back? Is anyone here? Is everyone still here? Is the stream still live? Okay. My computer just blue screened. So that was fun. That's the second time my computer has blue screened while streaming. I hope that doesn't mean I need to reset Windows or get a new PC or something. I mean, I kind of do want to build a new PC, but I probably just need to reinstall Windows because Windows just degrades over time for some reason. But that's going to be a huge headache, and I don't want to do that while I'm in the middle of making a course. So that's fun. It was the blue screen of death. The chat isn't appearing on stream. Oh, right. That's because I need to do... Okay, tell you what. I need to get the background music all set up again. I just wanted to get back on the stream before YouTube ended the live stream. Because I didn't want to create two different VODs or whatever. So now that I'm back here... what I'm going to do is... Yeah, chat B-sodded, yeah. You mean the absolute B-sod? So I can still see your chats. I got the YouTube chat up, but let me just put the stream on pause real quick. I'm going to get all that stuff set up again. I'm also going to take just a quick break to get a refill on my drink and all that stuff. And then when I come back, we'll continue on with this animation. So we're not done with the stream yet. We will definitely be continuing on. So just give me a little bit of time, maybe like 4 or 5 minutes. I'll be right back and we'll continue with our work. All right, I'm back. So the chat should be working, everybody. Let's see. By the way, I don't remember if I responded to your comment, Carto, about Gunforge crossing the 50 review milestone. Thank you for the congratulations. I appreciate that. I think, Balato, thank you. Art looks good enough for final release. So I'm just catching up on the chats that got deleted. Here. Okay, I think we're good. Places End. I will check that out, or I'll see if I remember to check it out. I'll check it out after the stream. But congratulations, Kzori. Very nice. On releasing a game. The chat is back. Yes, indeed. We are back. We're here. Okay. So what was I trying to test when that happened? I just want the input to be disabled when you select. Oh, don't crash again. There we go. I'm going to be worried about blue screens of death now. Okay, so that's looking okay. Let me get the out animation playing correctly. Board container. Yeah, let me get the out animation playing correctly, and then we can do some more work with the tentacles popping up out of the ground. So enchant container here. Public void play out. We actually want this to be public async task play out. Await task dot when all these, we're gonna fade these out. What do you mean? Oh. Float delay. Float time. Okay. So await task when all, so we're going to wait for all those to fade out, but then we're also going to do visual utilities dot fade out and queue free board container. I wonder if I should, well, let's see what happens. So now in the enchant event state machine, we got this state cleanup. We're going to do async void await enchant container dot play out. All right, let's see if that works. So now if I go here, that's going to fade in, do this, select a tentacle, bring this out. Those all fade out. That fade out looked a little bit weird though. What's going on there? That doesn't look right. Something's glitching. I think it's probably the canvas group stuff. Shoot. How do I want to do this? I think if I got rid of this line here, this is probably the problematic line. Get rid of that and try this again. Yeah, that looks fine. So when I try to fade out the board container, that's when the problem occurs. Let me think. I've never had this problem before, so what's happening is if the board, it gets faded out in the way that I'm doing it. Oh shoot, I forgot a drink. Anyway, if the board gets faded out in the way that I'm doing it, it creates a black boundary around it, which is on top of the head here. And so it ends up creating like a black border that cuts into the head, which is not ideal. So, how do I fix that? That's a good question. It's a demo made in like 48 hours. Okay. Windows can't handle Godot nowadays? Maybe not. If you use the event viewer, it might show what caused the blue screen. It might, yeah, I don't have the patience or the will to go in and figure it out. Who wants to silence me? Yeah, the powers that be. I'm too powerful. Godot hates panes of glass. Hello, why am I not in church on Sunday? I was like, what is that saying? What is that saying? How is Copilot working for you for Godot projects? It's good, yeah. I like the AI autocomplete sometimes. And writing like, I was using it pretty well for the map that I was making. I had it do a minimum spanning tree implementation for me and all that stuff. And just very big time saver. Why did I not realize you can't use C# libraries? Is it called Link? Well, Link, yeah, is... I don't know if it would be classified as a library, but yeah, it's available in C#. You can use it. And you can also use NuGet packages too. So yeah, basically you can use any C#. Well, not any, but like a good portion of them. What's that percentage thing on nodes? That is the unique name. So you can access nodes with unique names. That percent marks it or indicates that it's a unique name. What's the difference? Yeah, so it has to have a unique name, but then when you access the node, instead of having a big node path to reference it, you can just use the percent and then the node name to get the node, if that makes sense. One quality of life improvement suggestion: instead of making the player pick the card back when it's done, you could save the original board position and do it automatically. Yeah, I think I'm either going to do that, or I think the more likely thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to just have ways that you can like control click on cards and they just get added to the next free spot. But original board position would be a good idea, I think. But that, yeah, original board position, if available, right? Because you could put the card over in this thing and then go back to your inventory and rearrange it. So you're not actually guaranteed that the original spot is going to be free. But yeah, it could have some logic to like try to place it back at the original spot, and if not, at the next free slot. I would be shocked if that's the case. Oh, goodness. Oh, var velocity, which was hiding a field. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, give me just 1 minute here. I need to go get my drink that I forgot. So, BRB. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that. What am I trying to do? Oh yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make this work. This is a tricky one. It's a tricky one, tricky one, tricky one. I guess what I can do is just fade out the head first. That might be the only way that I can do it. Oh, that fade out didn't even work at all. What in the heck? Why didn't that work? Was it working before? Hold on, let me put this back. Let me look at the alchemy container. How am I doing it in here? Play fade out. Alchemy container. Board.kill. Oh, it's already part of a group. Oh. Oh, so wait a minute. I may be just doing this wrong. Hold on. We have board.kill. Okay, that should fade it out for me. Goodness gracious. Let's see. Oh, it worked. Yes. Very nice. Okay, I think I was just making a mistake with the canvas groups. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Sweet. All right. Alrighty, 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 alrighty. Let me commit this before we get another blue screen. Oh man, is it bad that I kind of secretly hope that my computer just completely breaks so I have to buy a new one? I mean, in truth, I can't really afford it. It would be an irresponsible purchase, but it wouldn't be irresponsible if my computer completely broke, because then it's like, well, I need it to do my work, right? So all I'm saying is it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if my computer completely died and I need to get a new one. Oh well, you know? And I'm actually not even that worried about it because I got really serious about digital backups and backing all my data up, so it would literally not affect me except to eat up some of my time if my computer just got destroyed. But anyway, let's see. So add fade out when done. So we still have a bunch of problems here, but we're working through them one by one. So the tentacles, they need to have a little bit more of an interesting in animation, maybe with some particles or something. But these enchant tooltips as well need some work. What do I think? Oh no. No. Negative reviews are fine. Does our angry boy have a nose, or is it like those Cthulhu creatures depicted in media with a loose skin nose? He's kind of modeled after like the Davy Jones character from Pirates of the Caribbean. So there's like no nose, it's just like a flat, like this portion of the face is just flat with tentacles coming out. So this area kind of would be where the nose is, but it's more like flat and not having a nose, if that makes sense. Waterbelly lost his nose in the war. Wait for it to randomly break. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. Hello, a bar. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So, shoot. What I want to do, there's still a bunch of problems here. I'm going to do particles because that sounds like fun. Is this going to break anything? I actually don't know if this is going to look good at all, but we'll see. Okay, nothing is broken yet. So that's good. Do I have any good particles for this? Anyway. Let's just see what I can do here. I really don't understand this. Why are my particles never the right color? I just don't get what's happening here. Those are not the same colors. That's so weird. They're always darker than what the color shows. I wonder if that's a problem. I'm gonna have to investigate that. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'll just use a color ramp. This is probably not going to look good, but we'll give it a little bit more effort here. Water splash particles. Yeah, trying something like it. Some kind of splash. It's not going to look good, I don't think. But we can try it. we can certainly try it. Maybe just do one color. Maybe just do one color. "2D lighting." What about 2D lighting? Hello, Solo Leveling. It's going well. Maybe make the color of the tentacles highlight. I can try that. I keep pressing random buttons. The buttons are not random. Believe it or not, I actually know what I'm doing. I just don't know if this is going to create the effect, passable effect, that's all. But we'll try it with the different colors. Lighting as in maybe that's why it was darker. Oh, well, there's no 2D lighting in the game, so I don't know why the particles would be accounting for that, but maybe. Certainly does look like there's some kind of extra processing being done on the color. I was just making a joke because often that's what I do. Gotcha. There are, I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of particle options in here that I don't know what they do. If I were to begin messing with those, it definitely would be a case of like, whatever. Orbit velocity, directional velocity. What am I looking for? Oh, I'm looking for, I get so lost in these menus here. Where's my... I thought that maybe the favoriting properties would be nice, but it's just not intuitive at all. I might unfavorite all these things. Display, scale, curve. Oh, right here. Let's change the min to 0.5 and the max to 1.5. Okay. Can't help but see the shadow is where under the nose would be as a smile. Oh. Don't say that. I'm gonna have to redo the whole art. Okay, let's try this. Tween callback, callable.from. Come on. Dot set delay. Set parallel. I need the splash particles, private GPU particles 2D splash particles. Splash particles dot restart. Lambda expression can be removed. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, I don't know if that's going to look any good at all, but let's see. I unfavorited everything. The grouping of the properties matters too much. Yeah. I mean, it would be fine if... I don't know why they move the properties. It should just duplicate the property, right? So it should just take the favorite property and create a duplicate entry at the top, but it should still exist also at the place that it originally was. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you favorite a property and then it's just like not where you're usually expecting it to be, which kind of defeats the purpose of like favoriting the properties. I don't know. Ooh, that actually looked decent. That didn't look terrible. I think I just need a little bit more spread on that. Need a little bit more spread on that. A little bit more height maybe too. Maybe that's too much. Okay. Maybe the highlight color quick fading into that purple color to imitate the white frothy part of the actual splash. The fade is a good idea, actually. That's a good idea. Okay, so let me do that. So we got the color initial ramp. I'm gonna actually do that. So put a color here. So start it at that. Oh, that's the color initial ramp. I need this to be the color ramp here. New gradient texture, paste that. And then we'll go out. I guess it fades out, so it maybe doesn't need to go out to black. Highlight color, quick fading into that purple color to imitate the white frothy part. Let's see how that looks. I came across Murder Game Engine. It was built on top of ECS, FNA, C#, and Image UI. It's an interesting project. Murder Game Engine, huh? That does sound interesting. Maybe I'll turn the amount of particles down a little bit. Oops. That looks great. You like that? How are we feeling? I think it looks good too. The one problem is one of the particles is a little bit off kilter. I might make that a little bit quicker. But then I need to go here and I need to change some of these things here. That splash particles needs to be there. This splash particles needs to be there. And this one should be fine. Okay. The only thing you knew about it was called Murder. Yeah. Better do the same effect when hiding the tentacles too. It would have to be a smaller particle, I think. Oh, that's a bug. That card transferred is not correct. Okay. So I need to write that down. There should not be a card transferred signal emitted. Actually, I wonder if I can fix that right now. Board inventory component emit signal card transferred. I don't know why I just printed a string called true, but that's all right. Looks great with some kind of water texture in the background would be perfect. Yeah, I gotta figure that out still. I don't know how to do that. Constantly stretching my skills here. So that's not... Okay, so that's not the problem there. Why is that happening? Enchant. So that's not a bug, so that's good. Enchant container. On card placed. Oh, it's placing the card back. Oh, I see. Oh, you know what? I need to prevent multiple cards from being placed as well. Shoot. So that card place signal is being emitted when that card gets replaced on the board. Huh? Oh, shoot. Ah, this is a mess. Okay. Private void update tentacles. We're going to flip these around. Dot length is equal to 1. Okay. Goodness gracious. I'm learning tons of stuff watching you debug live. You made debbing look easy, magic man. Well, I'm glad that it's helpful to you. Hopefully it's helpful to more people as well. Yep, it's just, you know, just experience, like I always say. I didn't do anything special except stick with programming, generally speaking, for a long time. So that's the problem. That card placed signal gets emitted even when the card is being reset. So how am I going to resolve that? Card mouse events manager. Please tell me this isn't the card. Nope. Dragon card. Oh. Can place card at position, end drag. So this end drag is probably... Where's that card place signal being emitted? Why is it being emitted multiple times? Card placed. Emit signal card placed. Try place card at position is being called where? That's not right. I got to figure out how this flow is working. Ideally, what shouldn't be happening... Okay, we're going to get rid of all these. Goodbye. Ideally, what shouldn't be happening is this card placed signal should not be happening if a drag and drop operation fails. So what's happening is that this card here, if I drag it into an invalid spot, like trying to drag it on top of another card, that is playing the card, or that is emitting the card placed signal because this is getting snapped back to this position. But it's also playing that card placed if I just drop it in the same spot, and that's creating problems. Now I could handle that probably with just some specific logic in this scene here, but the problem is that I'm not sure if I want that behavior at all. Like I think card placed, that card placed signal, I mean, maybe it is necessary. I guess I don't know why that signal would be, it seems redundant to say the card has been placed if it's just ending up back at its original spot. There may be a reason why I'm doing that, or it just may be an oversight. So I'm actually going to go into a little bit of a deep dive here and figure out how the heck my code is working. So it's emitting a card placed every time I drop that, and then if I do this, it's emitting another card placed. Why is that necessary? Try place card at position. The most important thing is that this is happening in the board. So if I'm trying to drop a card onto a board, the source board is whatever board currently owns the card. If the source board is equal to null, which is not the case here, if the source board is equal to this, try place card at position. And what is end drag with true? Reset position. I see. Can place card at position. So I think this is the block that's taking effect here. Because basically we're getting the dragon card. If the source board is this, so the source board is wherever the card is coming from. So if I'm picking up the card and dropping it in the same board, then yeah, this block here, source board equals this, is going to take effect. Try place card at position. Failed. I think that failed is going to be printed. I think that's what's going to happen. But I don't know. Naming was a bit weird, though. Naming. Can you use the tentacle scale to determine if you can place a card down or if there's already one on the board? The tentacle scale would have nothing to do with that, no. Maybe I don't understand the question. You need something to check the board state, I think. Yeah, I mean, I can write a bit of code to check the board state, but I don't want to do that. Add caustics around the right board. Oh, that would work. Can't imagine debugging this using Godot's built-in IDE. Godot's IDE gets too much hate. I think Godot's debugging tools are pretty good. I don't really have a problem with them, but it's not failing. What the heck? Well, fortunately, what I can do is I can do C# debugging. Let's step through this, shall we? And we'll see what's going on. This may ultimately not be worthwhile to fix if it's even an issue, but I think I need to determine if it's an issue first. So we'll let that go. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Cancel. Oh, I don't remember which one is the which. Okay, here. No, it's not that one. Okay. All right, so let's take a look here. Okay, so this is right. So yeah, it failed that. End drag. You're telling me it's getting in here? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on a second. Oh no, this is succeeding. Wait a minute. So it is going in here. I see. So if this doesn't succeed, it ends the drag and resets the position. I see. So what is causing this to succeed then? My board inventory component. It's still got the card in there. Cards on board is 1. It's trying to place the card at position. So it's checking if not can place card at position. Valid grid cells. Why is 0, 0 a valid grid cell? I don't understand that. Is there some way that I'm changing the valid grid cell? According to the logic I have here, it should not be possible to place a card at the same spot that you're dragging it from. Oh, valid grid cells is just a list of all the cells that are... Okay, I know what's happening. Okay, it's this check. So the valid grid cells is basically just all the cells on the grid. So that makes sense. But what's happening in here is that it's getting the card at that cell. And it's checking. So basically here, the second condition, it's saying, oh, if the card that's occupying that position is the card that you're currently dragging, then we're going to allow the drop. But I don't know if that's creating an extra card placed signal that I don't think is good. But the point is kind of moot anyway, because that's only handling if I pick it up and drop it in the same slot. So that's not really gonna help me in the case where I move the card around in the cell. So if I do this, I could fix the case where if I pick it up and drop it back in the same spot, it doesn't emit that signal. But if I move it to a different slot, I obviously need to be notified of that. So I don't think the problem is within my card placement, like my board inventory logic. I think the problem is here. I just need a way of determining if the card that's being placed was the card that already existed. So I think the way to do that simply enough would just be to use a hash set. I'll just call it inventory, I guess. So on card placed, inventory.add card stats. If inventory.add card stats, we'll do update tentacles. And then on card transferred, if inventory.remove card, let's call this card stats. Oops. Okay, is that going to fix it? Wrong one. I think it's going to fix it. Hello, Nathan the Craziest. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Good to see you again. Welcome back. Bam. Okay. So that seems to be working. And if I put a second card in, that will disappear. If I remove it, move this around. Okay. Well, that was a big investigatory effort for nothing. I mean, it wasn't for nothing. I at least refamiliarized myself with how the card placement code is working. So let's make sure that if I do that, now we have a board lock after you apply an enchant. So you can no longer drag cards onto the board. You can only drag this one out and then it's done. Okay, so I think all the proper locks and conditions are in place now. Still have to do work on that animation, but I think it's okay. Okay, so get proper tentacle state. All right, well, that's going to be it for the stream today. So thank you all for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your Sunday morning or afternoon or evening with me. Again, if you want to support my work, you can check out the links in the description below. I've got my Udemy courses available for sale as well as Gunforged. So yeah, definitely check those out if you're interested in supporting me. Otherwise, I'll see you back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll be back at it and we'll continue working on this game. All right, have a good day, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.